She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Kiss, kiss, modest lips, kiss, kiss, modest lips, kiss, kiss, modest lips, kiss, kiss, modest lips, kiss, kiss, modest lips. Hey, me Matt here, and yes, I am reviewing Dynasty, which was 2 weeks ago. Actually, it happened when I just got into my vacation, so anyways, it's at my parents. And so, I know Killer Kyle, he watched it in real time. And it was also on Prime. I didn't really watch that on Prime. I didn't feel like it, but this was a pretty good show, it seems. Well, I'm starting off the first match. Okada and Takeshita took on the Young Bucks. Pretty good back and forth. And yeah, I feel like Okada and Takeshita are gonna dissolve at some point. It seemed like it. You have at one point the Young Bucks putting them in a sharpshooter, and of course that got broken up. There was a spot where I think it was Nick. No, it was Matt. He was gonna put Takeshita in a German suplex. And then Okada was going to interfere, and then Nick kind of jumped into the ring, did a somersault. All three did the German suplex. It was pretty cool. Okada and Takeshita worked well together, but they were going to do, can't remember their finishing move, but Takeshita held on to Nick's hand and yeah, let go, allowing them to get the win. And then Takeshita gets into the ring, does this to Okada, and it kind of looks like there's going to be a breakup on the Don Callis family. But I got this on YouTube, the whole show. So then had Ricochet versus Chris Jericho, and this was a good match too. And I thought about doing a play-by-play, but to save time, whatever, I just want to watch this and I'll talk about it. Good match. Of course, Gates of Agony got involved a lot. You had a Boston Crab, Walls of Jericho, which got interrupted when Ricochet got pulled out by Toa Leona. And yeah, this was really cool. You got a shooting star from Ricochet, which turned into Codebreaker by Chris Jericho. That was cool. But nonetheless, Ricochet won the match. I feel like You know what? I don't know how long Chris Jericho has in AEW. Once again, I had talked about him going to other companies, WWE especially, but yeah, this was cool. And he won with the Lion Salt, which is, no pun intended, put salt on the wounds for Chris Jericho, but anyways, there it is. Yeah, we had Darby Allin versus Andrade. This was a pretty cool match. You didn't know who was going to win. I think that Andrade got frustrated, just couldn't keep Darby down. Like, Darby Allin is like the most dangerous human being I've ever met, or saw, rather. But he got all kinds of fucked up. There was a point where he dived out of the ring onto Andrade, and, there was an attempt of, I want to say, a Death Valley Driver on the top rope, which turned into a crossface from Darby. There was a point where he got a suplex on the outside onto the floor, which I thought that Darby Allin was done. But nonetheless, yes, Darby Allin won a match. And if you don't already know, I didn't watch Dynamite, but I do know that he is the new AEW champion. I made my bones about that. But anyways, yeah. So it was the W Tag Team Championship. Adam and Christian versus FTR. This is pretty cool. I mean, as an homage to the Dudleys, Young Bucks, and Power and Glory, which I thought was cool. And, of course, Cope got busted open by the title. That's a pretty sharp belt. And, yeah, I mean, both teams are awesome. It could have went either way, but unfortunately, Adam hit the double spear. He did try to hit a spear, but that ended up getting cut off, and then FTR hit the Shadow Machine for the win, retaining the titles now. Apparently, a Double or Nothing, you are going to get a rematch, and if Adam and Christian lose, then they're going to disband. Well, I don't know why they just didn't put the titles on them here now, and then maybe FTR could have gotten the titles back at Double or Nothing. Whatever. This was a good match, but we'll see what happens. And, for two guys in their 50s, they're very fucking good. They're still one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling. Well, we had a gauntlet match. That was cool. I mean, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, Rush and Tommaso Ciampa started the match, and, it was a very good fight. I mean, Neville was awesome, or Pac. I haven't used that name in a while. But it ultimately went to Kevin Knight, so I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm sure he'll get a title match eventually. He is a very good wrestler. What does that mean for Jet Speed? Not quite sure. I honestly haven't watched Dynamite. I've tried to keep up with it, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it was for the TNT title. So yes, Kevin Knight is your new TNT champion. We'll see what happens from here. Not sure why I forgot about that. Tekla versus Jamie Hayter was awesome. I mean, look, you got these two unique women. I mean, there was a point where they were on the apron, and you have Jamie Hayter trying to do the suplex, and Tekla kept blocking it. She eventually got it at the end of the, well, near the entrance, and so, I mean, Jamie finally went back into the ring, and Tekla got her offense. It was pretty cool, and I mean, there was a Black Widow. Was it a Black Widow? I can't remember what you called it, but that was from Tekla. She eventually picked up the win, retaining the title. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I think that Tekla is a unique wrestler. Nothing to take away from Jamie, but yeah, we'll see what happens with her. But this was a really good match. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Yeah, this was interesting. I mean, Will Ospreay, was all bandaged up with his, neck because of what Mox did, and it took 6 months of his life, which, yeah, I mean, he risked it, and they pulled out all the stops. I mean, reversals I've never really seen before, and that was cool, but, yeah, in the end, there was a point where Mox did a pile driver onto the steel steps and went into the ring. Of course, Samson comes out to check on Ospreay, and Paul Turner has to count. So Ospreay gets in just in time for 9, and John hits the stomp, which I don't know if that's subliminal or what, but yeah. Paradigm shift, or DDT rather. I don't know. And yeah, eventually, after kick out, Mox hits another one and gets the win, retains the title, and yeah, there it is. I don't know what happened on, again, I'll have to check Dynamite, but maybe Double or Nothing, but we'll see. Guess we're on to the main event, so well, yeah, the War Dogs versus the Conglomerate, and I mean, that was a really good match. I mean, the War Dogs basically, in the beginning, took out Kyle O'Reilly, seeing as he is from BC, Vancouver. Especially, this was awesome. I mean, both these teams could have went either way, but it ended up Orange Cassidy doing the Orange Punch. You have Kyle O'Reilly finally getting the leg lock on, I want to say, Gabe Kidd, and getting him to tap out. And you knew AEW Trios champions, the Conglomerate, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. Again, not sure what happened on Dynamite, but it's just, they deserve it, Yes, I'm completely embarrassed, but the main event actually was MJF versus Kenny, by God, Omega, and That was stiff as shit. I mean, these two went at it. A lot of knee shots, a lot of reversals. There was one winged angel that turned into a Hurricane Rana. There's just a lot of cool shit, you know, going through the table on the outside, but yeah, this was cool. You had a point actually where Kenny Omega accidentally hit the ref, and then ref gets knocked out. Eventually, MJF goes over, goes into the ref's pocket, and grabs the ring that the ref confiscated from MJF. But backfired though, and unfortunately that didn't work. Kenny hit the one winged angel, and Paul Turner came out, and that didn't work either. Yeah, the match did go to MJF, who still retains the title. I didn't think Kenny was going to get the match. I didn't think he was going to win the title, right now at least. I don't think he should have. But we'll see what happens at Double or Nothing. I'm not quite sure. Again, I have to keep up with Dynamite, but almost dodged a bullet there. And this was a good show. I mean, this was on Prime. I could have watched it real time, but I decided not to. And we'll see what happens at Double or Nothing. And I know this is play-by-play style, but I didn't want to do a play-by-play. But I did want to watch it, and for some reason the whole show was on YouTube, so... Anyways... Yeah, I mean Matt. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hi. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at some of his earlier interviews,